Hello and welcome. This video is 10 lessons I have learned from Timothy Ward's YouTube channel. Tim is a YouTuber and content creator who talks about simple living, minimalism, how it's changed his life. He travels from place to place and shares his original and authentic ideas. He created his channel about 8 years ago, but then has been consistently posting for about 6. I've been watching his channel for the past 4 years for sure. It's just so refreshing to see someone so authentic and be true to themselves while also talking about personal growth and challenging societal norms. Go subscribe to his channel right now so you can start binging his content, and in the meantime, I'll start sharing the lessons I've learned from him. Tim Ward 101, let's go. He emphasizes the importance of decluttering, not just physically, but also mentally and emotionally, because it is fairly easy to declutter things that are physical clutter. You see it, you throw it away, trash, done. But it is much harder to work on mental and emotional clutter that is obstructing us from living to our true selves. While also it might require sacrifices, such as giving up certain luxuries of life or societal validation, the freedom and peace that it brings is simply unmatched. He encourages his audience to be more intentional with time, resources, and opportunities to cultivate a more fulfilling life. I have often applied this lesson into my life as well. I also made a video recently about how my husband and I moved from a large city, Las Vegas, to a small town, middle of nowhere, and essentially we were able to basically be closer to family and get involved in the community, as much so that it really does help feel more fulfilled. It helps me feel like I can actually make a bigger difference. Thus, by sacrificing something bigger and greater for something smaller, I feel like I have gained so much more. So I'm definitely applying his lessons as he speaks. The second lesson is to question societal success metrics. In today's society, success is often associated with wealth, material possessions, or status. And not just all of that, but additionally, how you're able to parade it online, how you're able to show it off to other people. Tim challenges this narrative, and he also talks a lot about how chasing after these things might lead to burnout, disconnection, and disassociation. Disconnection from your true self, that is. Instead, he encourages defining success personally, what it would mean to you. Whether that's pursuing passions, nurturing relationships, or something that you are pursuing or working towards, such as simply being happy and content wherever you are with whatever you have. This lesson truly stopped me in my tracks a few years ago when I was listening to one of his videos, because it really made me stop, pause, and really reconsider where I'm currently at, what I'm currently working on, and it did kind of make me realize that the things that I was pursuing and working towards at the moment didn't actually have much effect on my life, and more so were leading me to that burnout that he speaks of, were leading me to that discontent. And at the end of it, it wasn't even something that would make me happy, something that would really make me feel like I'm further in life. Thus, I've been working on my goals, and I've realized something that makes me truly happy, not something that society tries to advertise as happiness. The next lesson is to resist conformity. Conformity can trap individuals in lifestyles they do not enjoy simply because it is expected. He advises stepping back and zooming out and seeing the whole picture. Reflect on personal values and priorities rather than blindly follow. And he obviously lives his truth as well. He basically lives what he preaches. He never stays in the same place. He's always traveling, always on the go, always looking for something more, something that will open his eyes, something he can share with us as his audience, and something that will get him closer to feeling comfortable and not stuck. The next lesson is to accept life's recurring lessons. Life has a way of teaching us the same lessons over and over again repeatedly until we finally learn them. Tim shares his story with self-doubt and procrastination while showing that this is all part of personal growth and just ongoing life process. By recognizing patterns in challenges, we can address them more effectively and essentially avoid repeating the same mistakes. I mean, how often do we make the same mistake over and over again? And then we hope for a different result each time. Obviously, this is not some revolutionary truth. It's just simple and plain truths. And honestly, some of his videos I have to rewatch multiple times because there's just so much to process and contemplate on. And also he has a gift of just speaking so plainly and eloquently at the same time that I just get it, you know? It just makes sense. And sometimes you can be thinking of something and it doesn't quite click until you hear somebody else say it, which is why watching these lifestyle YouTubers can be so helpful. And even though I love short form content such as TikTok, I think that YouTube will always have a special place in my heart simply because the algorithm does promote such unique and authentic people. The next lesson is to believe in rescue and support. It's very easy to feel isolated or lonely while facing hardships and challenges, but Tim emphasizes that help is always available, whether it's through family, friends, or just strangers on the internet. This lesson is about building community and learning to lean on others through difficult times. And this is one of the reasons why I love YouTube or Reddit so much, because this is where people come together who have similar challenges or trials or struggles or difficulties. Because even if you might be going through a very, very unique challenge, interestingly enough, there might be someone who lives in a completely different part of the world going through the same thing. And it feels like such a relief knowing that even though you have this unique situation, just to know that somebody else is facing a similar challenge. Relating to others like that is such a relief, and also this is what makes us human, and it helps us feel compassionate toward each other as well. The next lesson is to explore life's possibilities. Mr. Ward definitely invites others to step out of their comfort zone and explore the world. I call him Mr. Ward just like he's our teacher on a masterclass of life. And I love when he nonchalantly just says, adulthood is not supposed to be that serious. Why are you taking it so seriously? I mean, I'm definitely more on the strict and very punctual side of being an adult. Probably from being traumatized, but it is such a nice sentiment. Now, this might mean changing careers, traveling the world, quitting something, starting something. He emphasizes that fear and uncertainty are normal, and it shouldn't hold us back from experiencing the richness and diversity of life. Sometimes all you need is just seeing one example of a person doing it, and then you believe in yourself. You just start small, and then you accomplish that as well. The next lesson, which I find very important, is balancing ambition as well as well-being. Pursuing goals is very important. I mean, our whole life is basically goals, one after another. But Mr. Ward also warns us against ambition consuming us to the point where it affects our well-being as well as relationships. He advocates for a holistic approach to goal setting and goal achieving, where well-being is prioritized. He also shares tips on how to stay grounded, maintain self-care, and prevent burnout while chasing dreams, which is very important. When I was in college, I was a broke international college student working only on campus for a limited number of hours. I think I was making $8.65 an hour. And I was always very, very ambitious. I was always working, extra hard. And then after that, I was working 2 jobs, 3 jobs sometimes. And over time that I've noticed that even though I was achieving certain goals, I was also sacrificing in a lot of other areas. And I did end up paying for those things over the next few years for sure. Pretty much anytime I tried to run way faster than I had strength, it ended up being not a good thing at all in the long term. But you only realize those things once frontal lobe develops. So I didn't even realize that it had any effect on my mental or physical health up until I was probably 27, 28. Once you get older, you do realize that, but when I was young, I was like, I can work 3 jobs all day long. Who needs sleep? I can operate on 6 hours of sleep and get everything done. The next lesson is to prioritize personal fulfillment over wealth. Money often feels like the ultimate goal, but Mr. Ward warns us that chasing wealth by itself can lead to deep unfulfillment. He shares his journey of downsizing a lot and prioritizing experiences over material possessions. This lesson couldn't be more true, because as I was chasing that wealth, that stability, all through my 20s pretty much, I reached my goals and basically got there, and I realized that I pretty much lost myself in the race. And then it took me, honestly, months, if not years, to kind of regain that sense of who I am back, and I'm still working on it in a lot of ways. But it's so true that money can only get you so far. Like, once you get that comfort and that stability, you also realize that there's so much more to life than just chasing wealth. The next lesson is to stay sane amid chaos. He did multiple videos and live streams on the topic of staying hopeful or sane amidst all the craziness that's going on in the world. He also discusses strategies on maintaining peace and good mental health. These strategies include, but are not limited to, gratitude, mindfulness, and turning away from the media that works so hard to bring us down, to stay and sit and simmer in this endless negativity and basically endless doom. He promotes the idea of control what you can and let go of anything else that is out of your control. We can control our own lives and our own attitudes, but that's about it, because everything else is external and there's only so much you can do. To illustrate how I've implemented this lesson into my life, I just want to draw this picture. Before, when I was just, waking up and first thing in the morning, reading the news, kind of getting in this bad mood, essentially, feeling maybe a little bit entitled and not so grateful in the morning. So to illustrate that, my life felt like I'm driving on the freeway really, really fast in a city that I do not know, and it's so stressful. I'm like holding the steering wheel, I'm trying to check the GPS, and there's just like so much going on, like people aren't letting me in, I'm going way too fast, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, trying to find my exit and can't. My palms are sweaty, I'm super overstimulated. That's kind of how I felt for a long period of time, versus what my life became would be just driving 35 miles an hour on a country road with windows down and fresh breeze hitting in, no other cars in sight, just simply enjoying the moment. The next lesson is to acknowledge the difficulty of simple living. While simple living is rewarding, it is not without challenges. And Tim acknowledges the difficulty of letting go of certain possessions, such as not living at home or a permanent place to stay, not having a car, letting go of certain societal expectations and ingrained habits. However, at the same time, he believes that these challenges are just part of the process. And in the end, the benefits that you get, which is freedom and clarity of thought, clarity of mind, far outweighs things that you have to give up. A writer who I really like, Brianna Weist, she also puts it very eloquently into words, basically saying, your new life is going to cost you your old one. And it's very profound, because you don't really get to where you want to be without giving up things. You can't just create a simple life and remove everything that overstimulates you without actually making any changes, without removing those things that overstimulate you, without simplifying, without decluttering. While we know such great benefits from simple living, it's true, it does make sense that it also can be a hardship and you can miss the old life, the old you at times, even when you know that it's so much better now. These 10 lessons are great and essential, but I don't think they even scratch the surface of how many topics he covers and talks about and ideas that he brings. They're essentially very simple ideas, but with his delivery and with his experiences combined, they just really change the way you think about life and simplicity and minimalism. And what an amazing legacy he's leaving us on YouTube in the form of these videos. I hope that he's going to continue traveling, maybe he'll write a book one day, and I hope that he will continue creating content, because it really does open eyes of so many people who just live in their same ways, stuck, hating their life, hating their jobs, and not even thinking that the alternative way of living is even out there. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon!